You're exhausted, not physically tired, something deeper than that. The kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. The kind that follows you into the weekend, into your vacation, into the moments that were supposed to feel good. And the most terrifying part, you've started believing this is just who you are. It's not. Here's what's actually happening inside your brain right now. Every single day, your mind is forced to process more information than any human being in history ever had to handle. Thousands of notifications, infinite content, constant comparison, artificial urgency, bad news on loop, strangers performing happiness at you 24 hours a day. And your brain, the same brain that evolved for campfires, silence and slow mornings, is trying to survive a psychological war it was never designed to fight. So it does the only thing it can. It adapts. It shifts into survival mode. And survival mode doesn't feel dramatic. It feels like no motivation, no focus, no joy. Procrastinating the things you used to love. Feeling emotionally numb without knowing why. That's not weakness. That's what adaptation looks like from the inside. Here's what nobody tells you about modern exhaustion. It doesn't arrive all at once. There's no breakdown, no collapse, no clear moment where your body announces that something is seriously wrong. It happens slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. A little less energy here, a little less focus there. A growing heaviness that becomes so familiar, you eventually stop questioning whether it's normal. And that, right there, is the most dangerous part. Because when exhaustion becomes your baseline, you stop trying to escape it. You start identifying with it. You start saying things like, I'm just lazy. I have no discipline. I can't focus like I used to. I don't know what's wrong with me. But here's what I want you to hear clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. Something is wrong with the pace you've been asked to survive. And modern culture doesn't just ignore this, it makes it worse. The person who sacrifices sleep is called ambitious. The person who never stops is called important. The person quietly burning alive is called driven. Meanwhile, rest is treated like a reward you haven't earned yet. Silence feels irresponsible. Stillness feels like falling behind. We built an entire civilization that runs on your exhaustion. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Fear keeps you scrolling. Outrage keeps you engaged. Dopamine keeps you coming back. Comparison keeps you insecure enough to keep consuming. A calm, emotionally regulated person is much harder to manipulate. So the system, whether by design or by accident, is built to keep you anything but calm. And here's where it gets genuinely serious. When your brain stays overstimulated long enough, it stops being able to feel ordinary life deeply. Simple moments lose meaning. Small joys stop registering. Conversations feel like effort. Time accelerates. Everything blends together into one long gray blur. That's why so many people today describe feeling emotionally numb. Not because they stopped caring, but because their nervous system has been running at emergency capacity for so long, it forgot how to slow down. This is why you feel empty after hours online. Why short videos leave you more restless than before. Why you feel genuinely exhausted after doing absolutely nothing. Your brain was never designed to switch attention hundreds of times per day. But every platform you use was built around exactly that. And slowly, so slowly you barely notice, your mind stops feeling like your own. Fragmented, scattered, pulled in 20 directions at once. That's why so many people say things like, I don't feel like myself anymore. I used to enjoy things. I don't know where that went. I feel disconnected from my own life. And then they blame themselves. They tell themselves it's a discipline problem, a mindset problem, a willpower problem. So they push harder. Wake up earlier. Add another habit. Consume more advice about how to fix themselves. But you cannot think your way out of a nervous system that's been running on empty for years. Adding more pressure to an overwhelmed system isn't discipline. It's gasoline on a fire you keep wondering why won't go out. Here's the thing that changed everything for me. The deepest exhaustion you're carrying right now isn't physical. It's the exhaustion of slowly losing yourself. A disconnection that happens so gradually across so many small moments that you barely noticed while it was happening. And that kind of exhaustion cannot be fixed with more productivity, more optimization, more content, more pressure. It can only begin to heal through something modern life has made almost impossible to find. Safety. Stillness. Space. Not the performance of peace. Not a weekend retreat you go to and then return to the same life. Real internal safety. The kind where your nervous system finally, even for a moment, stops bracing for the next thing. Your nervous system doesn't heal through pressure. It heals through safety. And right now, almost nothing in modern life feels emotionally safe. There's always another bill, another comparison, another notification that didn't need to exist, another headline engineered to activate your fear response. Psychologists call this ambient anxiety, a low-level tension that never fully disappears. Not during rest, not during weekends. Your body stops. Not even while lying completely still in the dark at night. Your mind never does. And after enough years of living this way, people stop recognizing tension as tension. It just becomes personality. I'm always stressed. I'm just an anxious person. This is just how I am. But that's not who you are. That's who you became in order to survive an environment that asked too much for too long, without giving you enough time to recover. You are not your exhaustion. You are someone who adapted. There is a profound difference between those two things. So what actually helps? Not hacks. Not a new routine. Not another video about discipline. What actually helps is understanding something most people were never taught. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own. And you have been giving it away for free to systems that were specifically designed to take it from you. Every notification that interrupts you trains your brain to expect interruption. Every scroll resets your nervous system before it had a chance to settle. Every piece of comparison content sends one quiet message to your brain. Where you are is not enough. Reclaiming your attention isn't a lifestyle trend. It's an act of survival. Real freedom isn't just financial. It's psychological. Because what good is free time if your mind is too loud to enjoy it? What good is success if your body is permanently braced for collapse? What good is everything you worked for if you're too depleted to actually feel it? Emotional wealth, the ability to be fully present inside your own life while it's happening, cannot be purchased. It cannot be optimized. It cannot be hacked into existence over a weekend. It has to be slowly, patiently reclaimed. And when someone starts reclaiming it, something quiet begins to happen. Their priorities shift without force. They stop performing busyness. They stop measuring their entire worth by what they produce today. And slowly, they begin to remember what it actually feels like to live. Not to recover from life. Not to survive life. To live it.